Because Kairos is one of the best lords in the game, we don't often get to see one of my favorite lords for Tzeentch, the Lowly Herald, here on his disc, this time from Boojilicious. He's leading the way with Lore of Tzeentch. Got some pretty decent abilities, nothing crazy to write home about, but does have a nice missile attack, especially up on the disc, can do some very nice damage. He's got blue fire and pink to do just that, along with some Doom Knights and Screamers up in the air. 2 Screamers, 2 Doom Knights in order to protect, including the Knights of Immolation, Regiment of Renown. We've also got the Chromatic Aberrations, Regiment of Renown Blue Horrors, and some more Blue Horrors, along with a couple of pinks as well. Some Chaos Warrior Halberds, of course, or anti-large, as he is fighting anti-kaijus, ogres. Let's take a look here. Got a Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw, some Lead Belchers, and the elite of the elite, the Sky Striders, Crushers with great weapons. Ogre Bulls in the back line with Bulls, Iron Fists, protecting the flanks, and a whole mess of Noblars and Trappers. So let's get things rolling here as the Tzeentch forces start to close the distance. They're going to take a little barrier damage, wasting some of the throwing knives of the Trappers. Yeah, the pink is going to be great for clearing out some of that infantry, but won't be wildly useful in this matchup. Blue, with its lowered penetration, still going to be good here, but you have to use it probably more so on single entities than trying to like side shot or multi-model units. Anyway, Lead Belchers are going to open up here, get some nice damage, just immediately eat the barrier of the Doom Knights. Blues and pinks all firing in, doing some good damage on the approach to the Bulls, but they're still going to come in and make contact here. Excuse me. Air quality is quite poor here. It's unfortunate the place I live in has inversions. Anyway, let's not talk about that today. What we are going to talk about is a beautiful rear charge here from these Doom Knights straight into the Bulls, kind of getting sandwiched in the front by the Halberds. It's going to be a great situation for Tzeentch to try and rout some of these units off, as, yeah, they are a little bit outnumbered, even not on raw model count, of course, because, well, yeah, even on raw model count, even with the Ogres' lower model count being offset by the Noblar's higher model count. Interesting to consider, but taking a wide view of things here, but air assets are kind of moving around, trying to find good places to engage. Sky Striders managed to come in and crush 1 unit of Screamers, no problem, and blue fire being used there. Pressure the Slaughtermaster. Meanwhile, in the melee fight, Tzeentch is trading reasonably well. These Halberds certainly are going to do pretty decently. The Iron Guts there, though, mixed in here. I didn't catch them earlier, but yeah, there's a couple of Iron Guts mixed in here. Their armor-piercing anti-infantry should do much better. But blues and pinks repositioning here. The Chromatic Aberrations also, yeah, they're going to be not really replenishing the barrier much, not taking advantage of that Regiment of Renown ability too much, but just overall, their stats and their high HP will allow them to absorb quite a bit of damage there. Same thing here. Like the pinks able to get a little bit of barrier back before the Ogres overrun into them. Some nice rear charges from the Knights of Immolation as well, but oh man, those Crushers. Oh, those Crushers are so dangerous. They're going to come in and absolutely butcher this unit of Doom Knights. I say absolutely butcher. They take down a few of their unit models, but massive HP damage, no doubt. Yeah, they are significantly impacted by that engagement. Screamers and everything else trying their best to keep routing units chased as much as possible. That said, there's only a few mobile assets left for Tzeentch, and there's a lot of stuff routing for the Ogres that he could potentially try and chase off, so let's see how it goes here. But the main pocket of the Ogre strength is still here with the Lead Belchers. Sky Striders protecting, Slaughtermaster also in a good position. Well, this is going to be kind of a scary defensive position. You can see the Iron Guts are pulling back to help defend, trying to work off of those Lead Belchers as much as possible to burst down the Halberds. It's definitely the right idea by anti-kaiju. Does not want to fight those Halberds in melee as much as possible, so might as well just, you know, delay, kite, use those Lead Belchers to good effect. On the flip side, Tzeentch definitely wants to try and burst down the Lead Belchers with their own range if they can. The Lead Belchers really probably should pull back at this point. Maybe they're going to try and use the Crushers here to come through and just crush some of this infantry. And charging into some Halberds is going to be a little bit of a rough engagement, but let's see how they do. Certainly have the mass to just punch through regardless. Don't really care too much about any kind of charge resistance. Well, at least when it comes to mass perspective, they don't actually do a lot of impact damage. So the Halberds are able to stand relatively firm, even if they are getting kind of disrupted significantly. But, yeah, Lead Belcher's going to pull back along with those Iron Guts, try and get in a position to keep blasting those halberds. Meanwhile, Ogres are coming back and starting to pressure some of the scattered units of Tzeentch. These pinks firing momentarily. It looks like the Gnoblar's peeled for whatever reason. Definitely should just charge into the pinks there. Here, the Ogre Bulls managed to finally make contact. Ranged tools of Tzeentch getting shut down while the Ogres are trying to play off of theirs. Thankfully, the halberds for Tzeentch are not too blobbed up. They're not going to get crazy bursted down. But here come the Doom Knights. Knights of Immolation still completely healthy. In the Dread flying column are going to charge. Nope, they're gonna nope on out of that charge and then try again. Interesting. Not really sure what happened there. But they do actually manage to land the charge fully. They're going to get rear charged by the Sky Striders, which is obviously very dangerous. You can see the burst damage once the animations start to play is absolutely nuts. But let's see. Knights of Immolation here. They did momentarily shut down the Lead Belchers and prevent them from shooting, which is very important for the halberds. Herald has just about used up all of his ammunition, has been pressuring Slaughtermaster the whole time. I don't know if he's used up all of his ammunition on the Slaughtermaster necessarily, but he's got his leadership low enough that he might be able to get a cheeky little route here, see off the Ogre's leadership, which would be quite advantageous. Yeah, halberds now sticking close back to the pinks, sort of mirroring what the Ogres are doing with their own Lead Belchers here. It is going to be a brutal firing arc, considering, though, that the halberds are in a bit of a column formation as well. Let's see, if shots land like straight down the column line, that's going to be devastating. But I think shooting attacks actually targeted onto the pinks. Not to mention they're going to be forced to move anyway by the shooting of the pinks there. And Doom Knights also moving in to engage. The Lead Belchers, despite trying their best, just having a hard time getting free. Oh no, it looks like the Doom Knights actually went in for the kill on the Lord. Gonna snipe him out. Getting charged by Bulls in the meantime. Gonna be able to quite get it done, but these Tzeentch halberds are holding out valiantly here, just trying to hold back this tide of Iron Guts from keeping them from getting to the pinks and allowing these other halberds, the Knights of Immolation, to once again follow up. Let's see, though. Crushers are still lurking, and now they have a juicy opportunity to rear charge both units of Doom Knights at the same time. Fortunately, the unit didn't get that great of a charge because of the way their models are all kind of strung out. Only a few units actually get the full benefit of the charge animation. Still, they're able to kill a few unit models, but Doom Knights immediately split up. Knights of Immolation are going to go continue pressuring the Lead Belchers, and Doom Knights, the regulars, let's say, are going to follow in and sort of just stay close by, looking for potential rear charge opportunity, perhaps, or another way to try and gain some advantage against these Sky Striders. Perhaps just not even engage them, bypass them, and charge directly into the Lead Belchers or the Slaughtermaster himself also. Like that is going to be the case. Again, it's also kind of distracting the Lead Belchers momentarily, forcing them to move a bit. The halberds of Tzeentch, though, are just about done. Lead Belchers have pretty much done their job of finishing them off, so looking a little bit grim for Tzeentch, but the Herald himself is still decently healthed. Is that a term? Well, let's just go with it. Has a decent amount of health left. And the Lead Belchers are just about... No, they still got a decent amount of ammunition, actually. Okay, so a few Tzeentch halberds that remain, actually surprisingly doing great on leadership, are going to continue fighting here. With the Doom Knights now finally moving in. Halberds are in a position to help support against... They do get hit by the Dismember, though, army ability. They're going to try and help against those Sky Striders. Doom Knights, ooh, it looks like they've just about finished the Lead Belchers, yet leadership's starting to give out there. And even the Herald getting involved at this point, extremely risky. If he gets surrounded by these Crushers, he's going to die alarmingly fast. I mean, he's got, like I said, not the best combat stats, even very low amount of HP as well. Very, very low amount, so does not want to stand and fight here for too long, but a nice little distraction, able to screen through his own halberds. And that kind of engages the Crushers onto the halberds, allows Doom Knights now to start to rear charge. Some classic hammer and anvil, desperately trying to kill one of the strongest units in the game. As the followers of change struggle against the massive hulking ogres here in the old world. It's got to be, what, Bretonia, based on the architecture out there in the distance? Anyway, let's not get too distracted by the beautiful landscapes. The Bretonnian farmer out there is just looking on with awe and glee, probably, that these two marauding forces have just absolutely slaughtered each other. So Risky Biscuit goes for it again. And the little guy gets in there, is not going to get immediately killed. The Crusher's actually, I'm not sure what the attack order is targeted on, but it's not on the man himself, or if it is, they're not able to actually get an adequate surround, so he's basically just fighting the Slaughtermaster. We'll keep the HP bars up a little bit. You guys can see somewhat of what's happening if I get down low. But the Crushers managed to rout some Doom Knights, or managed to rout some Halberds. Other Doom Knights just barely holding into leadership together. The other Halberds also looking very, very grim. But the Crushers themselves, the Sky Striders, are done. Lord's going to detach, chase them down. Little blue fire. Inches to hit a couple of the different unit models there. And of course does apply that Warp Flame contact debuff. Not that it matters that much. 110 armor still. But he's got the weapon strength to at least finish a couple of these unit models off as he chases them down. Meanwhile, the Halberds is just absolutely circle beating the Slaughtermaster and bringing his leadership consistently lower and lower, just grinding him down. That is going to lead to army losses. So there you go. Beautiful Tzeentch game. Not too often I get to say that, but legitimately, anytime I see the Herald used to such good effect, makes me happy. And end up being super close too, which definitely is exciting. The Doom Knights, a lot of people will kind of poo-poo on Doom Knights. I actually quite like them for Tzeentch, given their kind of role as a very fast, kind of heavy, almost infantry unit in many ways. Like, their charge bonus isn't insane. They're more kind of stat-lined towards almost like a sword and shield cavalry. But are they better than typical Tzeentch Knights? I'm not sure. Maybe in this matchup specifically, the ability to fly and bypass some of the heavy Ogre mass to get at their high-value targets is worthwhile, but certainly Tzeentch's focus on Halberds makes it one of the tougher Monogods engagements, in my opinion, for Ogre Kingdoms. These mid-tier Tzeentch Halberds just trading so cost-effectively as kind of the backbone of this army, and then the rest of the auxiliary supporting elements doing a good job of supporting them, especially like these pinks, getting 1,000 damage values, very nice stuff. Yeah, good job by Bujilicious. Honestly, good job by Anti-Kaiju there as well. He had some really nice plays. Crushers absolutely killed it, as is to be expected. The Lead Belchers also managed to get some really nice value back. The Ogre Infantry largely struggles outside of a few individual units. Same thing, Noblars had some pretty tough counters, but some of them actually do manage to get over 200 value, which is nice to see for such a cheap unit. Definitely a fun one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.